Ladies and gentlemen, Head of Public Service Felix Koskei has asked the board of Athi Water Works Development Agency to suspend its CEO, Michael Twitter, pending investigations into alleged irregularities in the award of tender for construction of Ruiru 2, Karimeru and Kitui Matu water projects undertaken by the agency. And I want you to, and I'm picking just this because this is a matter I've been following in this podcast. One thing I know is when I take something and something I follow, I normally make sure that you get every update on it. And I think this is one that I had largely mentioned in this podcast. And so I want us to recover it. Remember the podcast I shared with you about how I plan to sack this fellow, the fallout between Alice Wahome and the water PS, Kiprono Rono. So that fallout has been all over the media that the PS and the CS do not meet eye to eye. And so, and what had happened initially is that when some funds, when the PS allegedly diverted some funds that was for construction of some dams in Mount Kenya, that's essentially Murang'a, to some parts of Kitui, this water CEO raised the eyebrows and the news came out. And the PS felt like the Athi River water CEO is anaharibu jina yake. So there's an attempt to punish that fellow and even for him to be demoted, and water CS Alice Wahome protected Twitter. So what has happened, and you know, remember the Mount Kenya MPs calling a press briefing to defend this water CEO. And of course they were actually working with Wahome. Now, I think the PS has gone a notch higher. You know, this is what's happening. Kosgei is head of public service, so in your boss wow. Kosgei has asked the board of the Central Rift. This is another one. This is also the board of the Central Rift Water Works Development Agency to suspend another CEO, Samuel Ouma, pending investigations into alleged procurement irregularities in the implementation of water supply and sanitation system for Mumet Longisa Muro Towns project within the jurisdiction of the agency. Now, the head, let's just get what has happened before we interrogate further. The head of public service, in letters to the chairperson of the two boards, questioned why the two CEOs are in office despite the pending investigations. He added that this may interfere with ongoing investigations carried out by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Koskei says the delay in taking action on the part of the board directors and the ministry is undermining government's war against corruption. Twitter is accused of illegally awarding 3 tenders in 2012, 2018, which amounted to billions of shillings. 2012, 2018. That was on Karumeni and another one. The final project was design and construction of that. EACC wrote to CS Wahome on May 31st requesting Twitter's suspension to pave way for investigations into the alleged fraud. However, the CS responded to the letter by asking for credible information to be provided against the CEO before the action is taken. So EACC requested ministry to suspend this fellow. And Dennis Wahome said, you know, provide me with credible information. And so the CS could not suspend. They sent to that Samuel Ouna. Then there's another one now. The head of public service now is asking the board. So I'm just trying to, I'm not getting it. Huh? And I would want someone in government to help us understand. Is it overstepping the mandate? Is there overstepping? Those who work in these areas, I know they quite have a number that follow our podcast. Head of public service asking board to suspend the chair, the CEO. So is that order right? Does it amount to some coercion? Because remember, all these people, even the board of directors, their boss is head of public service. So when orders are coming from above, can it be understood as witch hunt? Can people interpret it as witch hunt or is it in order? Because remember, there is an underlying rift between CS and the water PS. And this fallout has dragged for quite so long. What I don't understand is I think earlier June, there was some fallout between PS and some CS, and there was a reshuffle where PS was taken from one ministry, I think, to another. But this one, Ruto has failed to act, either move the PS away from that ministry, change the PS, or even change the CS and move at least Wahome from one place, from that position to another. There seems to be some, things are not happening. The things are working in the background, because what has been alleged is that the executive has been working closely with the PS, and the PS has blindfolded his CS. The CS has the CS who is supposed to be the boss. So, and I think Wahome even blamed the PS for writing emails and copying the State House team, the seniors in State House, without permission of the CS. So this thing has dragged for quite so long. However, let me take you back to this. Uko kwa ICT, Chiloba was facing also misappropriation, some corruption case there. And the board sat and passed a vote of no confidence and replaced Chiloba. That case has gone down. Chiloba is yet to react. We don't know whether maybe it's going to be presented in court or maybe waiting for EACC to give us what the next course of action. That is not yet clear. But that is what I'm saying, that some things are not just falling into place either intentionally, or that is how they were designed to be. So it's not really happening clearly, but it's a trend of this happening. My question tonight here, not tonight, my question now is, why has Ruto failed to act on this fallout? Is the PS untouchable or is the CS untouchable? I tend to see that Ruto is leaving it and that war to escalate, because the more it's there, it's escalating. Number one, it's actually creating negative energy, and that's a virus that can spread. It's starting from that ministry and it can spread. You will not, and I know there might be also underlying underground fallouts between PS and CS. So whenever there is one, the way it's being solved is a bit casual. There is something that Ruto is happening, and Ruto is leaving that fallout to happen. Why? I think he seems to be showing some signs that I must not cling to Mount Kenya, or I don't fear falling out with Mount Kenya, because Alice Wahome is not your ordinary politician. Alice Wahome was in the campaign trail for William Ruto and the team that called Uhuru Kenyatta all sorts of names just to please William Samoei Ruto. And if there is a fallout, and remember the PS is a Kalenjin and the CS is a Kikuyu, and that fallout is going on there, William Ruto seems not to be bothered that about Wahome walks out, because maybe Wahome has said that if you can't move the CS, if you can move the PS, but we are not moving. I am not moving. Because this will be it. Huh? If Wahome is moved from that ministry to another one, and the PS still remains there, I'm telling you the next day, that at River CA will lose his job. And Wahome will not be having influence, because it will be meddling into other ministries' affairs. No, that's it. It will be meddling into other affairs. Because what is happening here is very clearly, this fellow is only secure when he's there. Number two, The cases the Water is facing, one is 2018 and one is 2012. A tender that was given in 2012, someone is talking in 2023 asking that person that he did not give it fairly. Surely. They have other regimes. 2012 was even Kibaki regime, then Uhuru regime came where Ruto was even a was a deputy president. You know, I tend to see it's just there is a new way or some few other forces that are sitting somewhere to craft or rather to stage coups in some very lucrative parastatals and state agencies to solicit for lobbying funds. Just to change. Look at the Samuel woman in the Rift Valley. That case is not been so much in public. Okay, that's not to mean that it's not corrupt. I do not want to profile. I don't want to be seen as if is being profiled because of the tribe. When it comes to corruption, you never steal for your tribe. You steal. If someone is stealing, that person is stealing for himself and his family and his friends. So, but there may be another cocoon, people sitting somewhere and dragging files, picking files to create cases so that fellows would find ways of survival. And that would be avenues of soliciting funds. Because what happens today if the battle CEO then says, you know, this is what is it, part of something, and the case goes down. So there seems to be another syndicate within Kenya Kwanza that are harassing others. That's it. That are harassing others. And these are very lucrative spaces. When you see people fighting for it, people want to replace them, that means it's very lucrative. So it only means that it's a deal that is going wrong. Thank you.